me a long while to understand this because I was doing exactly what they told me in the boxing school, and starting from here and finishing there, and in sparring, I was landing every other punch on my opponent's left hooks, uppercuts, front and back, jabs. But the cross was just too long for it to travel from that guard. Till I went to Thailand, and one of my coaches there taught me this different cross where the arm is actually in front of the body. He taught me you don't even have to over-rotate the hips. Of course, you don't want to under-rotate them. You can't just throw with the arm and land the cross. The motion does have to be initiated by the hips. Notice I said the hips, not the feet. The hips and the glutes, the quads, that's going to move everything. If you can feel that moving it, you're doing right. The chair you're sitting in is moving, and then effortlessly, this bend in the arm. And notice it's not a 90-degree bend. It's a little bit tighter than that. But once you master that, and I'm going to go this way so you can see I'm going to throw across in this direction. Boom. Once you master that, you're not doing it the way they taught you in boxing school over here, but having the arm in front of the body in this loaded position, and the hips just turn over. I'm going to toss out these egg weights so actually I can throw a few punches. It's just a shorter motion, and it lands, and especially if you have the body behind it, people will just drop. The cross is a weapon that you can use to set up other punches or just to end fights with on its own. So it's a thunderous, amazing shot. And like I said, if I'm going this way, you don't want to have it start too tight in the perfect position like they teach you in boxing schools. You don't want it too loose, obviously. Spiking down. Like they used to tell me in Thailand, it's like you're climbing up a mountain, a snowy mountain, and these are the spikes. So you've got that feeling of downward pressure. Like I said, a little bit tighter than 90 degrees, and now it's loaded and coordinated with the hip. Whole body's moving as one unit, and that hip is just going to turn over and push forward and swing the back and the butt and the glutes and everything. The fist is going to turn over into this precise power cross. As fast as it goes out, it comes back. Do not want to leave it out there. The power comes from the speed and the coordination. The front heel is up. The front ball of the foot is touching. And the second this lands, boom, the front heel lands. Front heel is up, boom, front heel lands. That's where the power is coming from. Your entire weight is going to land as that front foot lands. The precise second, boom, that the cross lands. Very important to coordinate those two, and of course the breath and the movement of the shoulders. But it's not the movement of the shoulders, it's movement of these two shoulders, these two lower shoulders down here. So you don't have to over-rotate the hips, but like I said, you definitely can't under-rotate them. You can't do this motion with the arm like you can with a jab or hook or other motions. You actually have to get the hip involved. You have to push off the rear foot, get the glute and the quadriceps involved, which is going to cause this perfect position here, this loaded up position. Remember, this is not, from here you can't do anything. From up here you can't punch or do anything. But this position, not to say you can't fight in those positions and defend yourself imperfectly, but for a split second before you punch, boom, we get in this perfect position where the arm and body is fused, front heel is up, bang. And that cross just comes out effortlessly. The hip moves, and there's no fear. It's as easy as throwing and landing a jab, because we don't have this super long distance to cross, and we don't have the opening of getting countered like that because it's such a shorter distance. And set up those other shots as well. Again, I'm going to go to this side. It's the difference between the perfect long range cross, which if you're at super long range, sure, like that's what boxing is built off of. Super long range cross. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about more in the pocket, effective mid range. And again, look at it here. The elbow is not back here. The arm is not behind the body trying to catch up. The arm is already in front of the body. So the second the hip moves, it's already launching into place. This punch, so much shorter than this, which is like, the fist is going 6 feet out, 6 feet back. Like I said, there's a place for that. This is much shorter. Hip is fused, hand is turning over. It's maybe like a foot at most, but it's not compact and compressed, and there's not a feeling of shortening it. There's a feeling that we're getting all of our power into this. Because it's in a position that's not challenging us out of our normal power range. So master this, this stance, this position, this modified cross, where it's not like the perfect boxing stance cross, which has a place from super long range, this kind of mid-range punch, because it is so invaluable, like I said, as a standalone punch or in setting up combinations.